Are you sure all progress will be lost? Perfect. That's what we want. Funky. Just 19th century London, well known for its, you know, funk scene. The Fate of Black Peter. Okay, so this is a kind of, if you guys remember when we played The Council on this channel, I believe it's the same developers, or at least some of the people that worked on this, 'cause it's the same publisher, Focus. And it's different though, there's no character building, it's more clue finding and interacting with the surroundings, talking to people, going through conversations, that kind of stuff. And you can always check the dialogue log, that's good, yeah. Okay.
Holmes.
Yes, Sherlock is crazy. Sofa?
Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded? You...
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
Blindfolded target practice.
10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
Yes.
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
So press X to open the case book and check the progress. So we've got tasks: investigate the murder of Peter Carey, aka Black Peter. Inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee. Select a suit to wear. Well, I can't go in my dressing gown. You know, actually, yeah, I'm going to confess this. Yesterday, I spent a bit of time browsing online shops like Amazon and so on, trying to find a quilted style dressing gown that I could order to be here for today. Couldn't find a good one. I was going to sit here and wear it and buy a pipe. But never mind, you know. I could always put the Rudolph hat back on. Inspector Lestrade pays a visit to Baker Street where he relates to Holmes the grotesque affair that involved the former captain known as Black Peter. Okay. So that's our map. This is our evidence. Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born 1845, so 50 years old. He achieved great success in whale hunting in Scandinavia, retired in 1884, eventually moving to Woodman's Lee. Okay. So I guess documents we'll find as we go along. There's the chat log. Souvenirs. I don't remember anything to do with that. Echoes. I've been playing Division 2 a lot, so of course I'm thinking about that. Character portraits. Oh right, these are all the characters from all the different cases that you get to meet. I remember now, in one case, which I played previously, and I don't remember which one, there's a character I never met. And it's like, oh, what could they have told us to shine some light on this? Alright. I need to inspect Woodman's Lee.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
Right, okay, so that is how we travel. So I need to find... Let's talk to people first. Can we talk? Yes.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
See that you do. I expect my house to be in good order when I get back.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
Mm-hmm. Right, that's the way out as well. How do I get dressed? Ah, okay. Door to Watson's room. Okay, I don't see anything we can interact with around here. Nope. So we don't borrow Watson's clothes. Oh, letters.
This is where I keep my post.
Skewered with a knife. Nice. Research.
My archive.
Oh, right. Yeah, sometimes in
consult
cases
with
we
it
have to
if
come back
needed.
and use these. And like dig through
My
different
archive.
things.
I can all...
Okay. Oh, makeup. Yeah, you can go dressed with different hairdos and put glasses on if you want. Okay. Did we change that? No. Okay, good. It's only when we were able to, then, I guess. It's when the game gives us permission to dress like an idiot. The casual suit, the black suit, the brown suit, the green suit. So much choice. The grey suit. A bandit outfit. A farmer's outfit. The morning gown. Sailor outfit. Well, I think we'll go with the brown suit today. Anything else? All right. Open documentation. There are no clues available at the moment. Continue the investigation. Okay, yeah, so this is like, there's kind of like a synaptic map that you've got to connect all the different bits, but you can connect them in different orders. Sometimes it says, no, this doesn't work, and other times it'll say, maybe, yes. but there can be several maybes, so you've got to figure out the right order, make your determination, and then make an accusation. I haven't made any deductions yet.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Okay. Well, actually, let me have a look around first. There's footprints here. Around the path. Who walks to the side of a path?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Evidence required. Okay. I guess we'll figure out as we go along.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Little known fact, Sherlock Holmes was a witcher. He has witcher vision.
Mr. Holmes?
Hello?
Mr. Holmes?
Oh?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? I remember having to get used to that. Yeah.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you.
Plus, it must be quite
Allow me to
upsetting.
introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, right, we can analyse the person as well. Find anything unusual about them. Which is a cameo. About the buttons. Catholic rosary. Gardening gloves. A crested tit. And a little birdhouse.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time.
I think of nothing of terrible screams at 2 in the morning as well. You know, there was just... sounds of the city.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Hey, Alchemist, how's it going? And indubitably, old boy. Welcome.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
And yet there are gardening gloves there that don't look very manly. Not that I would make such a judgment, but, you know, white embroidered gloves for slender fingers. Probably not something a sailor would find himself wearing. Yes, I'm already suspecting the wife. The body's barely cold, and she did it. No, I don't think she did.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Yeah, that's true. His local Home Depot may have been out of manly gloves. I mean, you know, it is the 19th century, so, you know, stocks could have been limited. They had to wait for them to bring new stuff in on a steamboat from Taiwan.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes.
When you're in jail.
Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
How do I know about the return from Plymouth? Well, was it Lestrade that told us? Born in 1845, 50 years old, ambitious, sought success in seal and whale hunting in Scandinavia. He invested the money. Not a mention of Plymouth. A woman with an uneasy life due to her unhappy marriage with Peter. She's a very religious Christian Catholic woman. Undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage when she was young. That's it. The, probably the cross with the rosaries on it. She may have got that on her pilgrimage. And then she would have returned to Plymouth, because that might be the only port where ships sailed from to the Mediterranean or something to go into Italy. There'd be nothing about them. Okay. How do we know about Plymouth? Well, there are footprints now. The pilgrimage.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth.
Oh, it's in Spain. Okay.
I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
No, it's just elementary.
Thank you,
Yes, we're going to be using that one a lot today. Alright. Witcher vision engage. Let's have a look around. What have we got here? Anything? Nothing. What about the table, actually? Is there anything on the table? No. A few smashed barrels. Can't go in there. There's this carriage here.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? Hello, Mr. Holmes? That's how all English bobbies talk, by the way. They all talk like that. Mr. Holmes? Alright, hello. It was pulled by a drunk mule. I know, right? We should arrest that mule. I bet the mule did it. In a drunken rage.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Good. You never know what germs are on corpses.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Yeah, the body's been in there since yesterday.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Ooh, somebody trying to tamper with the evidence. Let's have a look. Examine. Scratches on the door lock indeed, sir.
These scratches are fresh.
I say exactly. He wasn't incompetent
You're
for
right.
once. This is a good
Someone
Lestrade.
tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Or an amateur. If he had the skills to open the lock, he would have had the right tool. He's probably an amateur who just thought he could rattle it a little bit and see if he can pop it open. Okay, guys, look away. It's going to be a bit gross. Ooh!
What a terrible way to die.
Skewered on a harpoon, huh? Okay, let's have a look. What have we got here? Work our way around the room. Actually, let's look at the corpse first. Let's first and foremost look at the corpse. Then we'll begin everything else. Classic case of a dead dude. I know, right? He seems to have a common, impalement of the chest, I think, was the cause of death. Although I'm not going to rule out being eaten to death by flies. Assuming they weren't there before.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
We have some old buddy photos up there.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
I don't know, there seems to be evidence of a heart attack. That was the wrong soundbar. There we go, you got a drum snare for that one. Well done, Alchemist. He was attacked in the heart.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible
Charged attack.
that he knew his murderer.
Yeah, I mean, if he's been impaled, there's some force has gone behind that. Somebody might have charged at him. You'll be here all week? Awesome. That's what we like to hear. Let's listen to that one
Peter
again.
Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Well, I mean, he came down here to get drunk, according to the wife. He's not going to get into his undies and then come down here and get drunk, is he? He would just pass out. So you could assume he came down here in the clothes he was wearing that day. Doesn't mean to say that he knew the attacker. The pool of blood. There's a knife. Well, look at this. Rotate the object to examine
This
it.
wooden handle is plain and solid.
It's a sailor's knife. Look, it's got a... I don't know, sort of a bit of scrimshaw on it.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Got a notebook. Nothing on the back. Soaked up a bit of the blood. The blood splashed on top of it as well. So it was on the ground when he died.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the
or maybe it was
crime,
that face down.
but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Okay. I didn't see if that inscription was on the top when we picked it up. I should be paying attention to this stuff more, and thankfully Holmes is. That's why he's the detective, and I'm just the guy, you know, riding along on his shoulders, controlling him by his ears.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
JHN. Either that or somebody tried to spell John and got it terribly wrong. There's code here. It's like a cipher. Interesting.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
They're old-fashioned IP addresses. Okay, so if we look at the deductions, we can try to string these together, I believe. Yeah. That's it. We're looking for an illiterate person. I saw a computer, so the old IP address was 2. Nice. Yeah. It's like Mr. Burns' social security number, isn't it? Yeah. Damn, Roosevelt got number 1. So, no gardener. Doesn't link to the break-in attempts. This is how we discover clues then, I guess. That doesn't work. How do I get rid of that? Pin to the wall? Nope. Notebook? No. Alright. So the break-in attempt, pin to the wall, notebook. They broke in to pick up their notebook. Alright, so now we've got one snippet of information which we have to connect in this big web. So we can make an ambush. Be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
There are 2 glasses on that table, look.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
And a tobacco pouch. I wonder if he smoked? PC, Peter Carey. So yeah, he smoked. This is his tobacco pouch.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Is it empty? There is tobacco in there.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, that's how we do this. We have to make the picture come together. Maybe it's this way round. It is. Guess it's not. Oh, we have to move these. That's right. Some things you can move and some things you can't. Got it.
Yes.
There we go.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very
So close it hurts, I know, right? I got it, I figured it. I'm remembering how this game plays.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
With his murderer. Potentially. Not necessarily.